but we'll have to save it for another time because I want to teach just a few more things that can help us. These aren't necessarily phrasal verbs, just a few expressions I thought could be interesting or useful to you. And I think we've already talked about it, but I want to talk about how we ask somebody out. We said that before, but we can also go out with someone. I want to make sure that people understand this expression as well because we use it so much. Going out with someone to spend time romantically with somebody. So when you ask somebody out, you're asking for the first time. Then you could also say that you are going out with someone. So an example here is he asked me out. We went out once. So we had one date. You might hear a native speaker say, instead of we had a single date, we went out once. Or we could talk about the process of getting to know each other and going on dates as simply going out with. So we have been going out for 6 months. We could hear a native speaker ask their friend, how long have you been dating your boyfriend? Or how long have you been going out with your boyfriend? So let's see. Oh, and I think everyone is still continuing the conversation a bit. That's awesome. You can keep going. So just remember, we could also say to go out with someone. It's like saying you're dating someone. This one is really fun to talk about. We haven't brought it up before, but a crush. A crush is a temporary infatuation with someone. I'm going to fix my board. Just a moment. Oh, here we are. Okay. So temporary means not long lasting. Infatuation means you are thinking about that person a lot. You think that the person is great. So if I am infatuated with George, when I see George, oh, I feel a little bit hot and sweaty. George makes me feel nervous. We talked before about butterflies in your stomach, right? So crushes are usually short term. They don't really last that long. So it's like a a short feeling that you get for another person. You're attracted to them perhaps. So why don't we try to use it in a sentence, everyone? Crush on. Max has a crush on Sally. You could say that I have a crush on someone. I have a crush on George. Ooh, okay, wow. I would love to catch up on these comments later about dating in the West. We're going to look now for crush on. Right. Apple says, what do you do when you find out someone has a crush on you? Very good question. T. Jenny says, I had a huge crush on a movie star. Right. Maybe we could use Hyunbin again as an example to have a crush on him, or Song Joong-ki, someone like that. Right. So you can have a crush on someone. Can you have a crush on somebody you're already dating? Perhaps. But I think that most people use crush on. Again, it's just that temporary feeling of attraction towards someone else. So you could say, oh, I have a crush on my husband, but I think it's more of that you love your husband, right? A says, don't crush on me. I don't like you. Very good. DVD says, I have a crush on George. Yes, George is so popular with the ladies. Very good. Hyunju, I couldn't focus on anything after I crushed on Anne, or after, I had a crush on Anne. Very good. I have a crush on my English teacher. Just kidding. Good sample sentence, right? Yeah, perfect, everyone. You're using it so naturally. Okay. Rose says, I feel that the doctor has a crush on me. Very good. Okay, the next one, we might have used this word before, to be affectionate. So we can maybe share some examples of what you believe being affectionate is. We can describe it in general as expressing fondness, expressing that you like somebody. Some sample sentences using the word affectionate or affection would be, the couple was showing too much affection on the train. So we like to refer to that as PDA. Maybe you've heard of it before. I'll type it. Public displays of affection. Maybe the couple was holding hands. Maybe the couple was cuddling. Something even stronger. Maybe they were kissing. We call that, being affectionate. But if you're being too affectionate in public, maybe it can make people a little bit uncomfortable. So public display of affection. That is PDA. That's a slang we use a lot. Or another way we can use affectionate, my husband is very affectionate. Let's see some ways that we can use affectionate. They may be affectionate, but they do not love, says Apple. Okay, good job. Please be affectionate, says T. Jenny. Very good. Anyone else? Have you ever seen this situation? People being too affectionate in public? You can share that story with us. As we said, that's called PDA. A says, if you really love me, show me affection every day. Great sample sentence. Good job. Anyone else? Okay, because of our time running out, I'll just keep going. This one is fun. Flirt. Maybe you've used this before. It's a noun and a verb. So it's when you're showing somebody sort of non-serious romantic interest in them, often in a friendly way. So this is a little bit different from hitting on someone. Hitting on, it's very, very strong. But if you're flirting, it's more friendly, and we like to say harmless. It could just be too friendly with somebody. So we could use flirt as a noun in this sentence. Excuse me. The waitress is such a flirt. She is flirting with everybody, with all of her customers. Or, again, bringing up George, the ladies were flirting. That's the verb. The ladies were flirting with George. And it's hard, everyone, to give a definition, an exact definition of flirting, because people have their own idea of what is flirting. People think maybe smiling a lot, laughing a lot at somebody's jokes, for instance, that could be flirting. Some people think, oh, that's just friendly. Some people think that complimenting somebody, saying, oh, hey, George, I like let's imagine he's wearing a tie. I like your tie, right? Is that flirting? Everyone has a different idea of it, friendly versus flirting. But it's just a way to make people feel good sometimes. Again, it's non-serious. Let's try to use this in a sentence. Apple says, once a flirt, always a flirt. Bob says, how can you tell that a person is flirting with me or just being friendly? That's a great question. And I don't think we have a great answer for it, right? It depends on everyone's situation. Bob says, is returning a phone call a sign of flirting? Up to the situation. I'm not a flirt, don't get me wrong. Very good. Alohi says, after Hyunbin turned me down, he started flirting with Doris. Who is this Doris? He used to flirt with pretty girls in the club. Very good. A blind eye to love doesn't notice a flirt. Wow, T. Jenny, that's very poetic. Good job. Stevie says, Hyunbin led me on with all his flirting. I believe she is not a flirt. Don't flirt with me when you're drunk. Oh, very good, very good. Okay, real quick, everyone, a few more before we get to our final discussion. This one. To be out of somebody's league. You may hear this a lot in American movies or in love songs. It means that someone is maybe too good for you to date, Or you think that someone is better than you, so you would have no chance of actually dating them. The princess was out of George's league. That means that George wants to date the princess, but he can't because the princess is, maybe socially speaking, higher than George. She's a princess. George is just a silly orange, right? So in this case, the princess is or was, in our example here, out of George's league. So let's try this one. Have you ever thought that someone was out of your league? Or you could say that maybe a celebrity is out of your league. Or you could say that somebody isn't out of your league. That means it's okay, you can date them. It's a little bit tricky, so let's try it out. By the way, I think that I'm out of George's league. I really won't date George. I'm sorry. Like this. So it's related to rejecting someone. Good job, Emily. Excellent. The last man I dated was totally out of my league. Very good. Lee Min-ho is out of my league, crying face. Very good. You are out of my league. Yeah, you could say that to somebody. Would you dine out with a person only if you think that person is in your league? Yeah, that's right. So people could say that they date somebody maybe who's in their league. Very good. Okay. And final one. When we're talking about romance, we can also talk about deal breakers. Deal breakers are things or maybe some qualities that you do not want in a person or in a relationship. So in a sentence, we could say, oh, drinking too much. That refers to drinking alcohol or soju. Let's say, drinking too much soju is a real deal breaker for me. That means I wouldn't date somebody. I wouldn't make a deal to date somebody who likes to drink alcohol, who likes to drink soju. Other deal breakers, maybe a girl who's always playing with her phone all of the time on a date. You could say, oh, that was such a deal breaker. The fact that she was using her phone the whole date really turned me off. I didn't like that. So using the phone can be a deal breaker. What's another deal breaker for you? Or can you use deal breaker in a sentence? Let's try. What is a deal breaker? Oh, here we go. A girl who smokes is a real deal breaker. A flirt is a real deal breaker. Well done. Smokers are deal breakers for me. Very good. Bye-bye. Walking away. Very good. All pretty good deal breakers. Yes, all of them are pretty good deal breakers. We are sure you'll agree. Very good. Okay. So, wow, as I said, time really flies, everyone. So, why don't we finish, excuse me, with a little bit more. Our final question today here. What topics do you think are acceptable to discuss on a first date? So, we talked about going out with someone for the first time, being asked out, and going on your first date. What can people talk about on their first date? What are some things that we should talk about? What are good ideas? Or you could even tell me unacceptable things, some bad ideas. I'll give you a second. What topics do you think are acceptable, are good to discuss, to talk about on a first date? So we'll finish up with that question. Then we'll have a short quiz before we end our lesson today. I have a few more messages coming in. Alohi says, being rude to others is a real deal breaker for me. Yes, very good sentence. T. Jenny, one of the worst diet deal breakers is a late night meal. Good job, T. Jenny. So again, a deal breaker isn't necessarily about love. A deal breaker can refer to other things as well. Very good. So now we'll talk about Topics for a first date. Places you have traveled or where you want to travel. Very good. What's on your bucket list? Hobby and work. Eating with their mouths open is unacceptable on a first date. Very good. And I'll also tie in the question, where can you go on a first date? Or what kinds of things can you do on a first date? So I would like to know some first date tips. What to talk about, what not to talk about. Where should you go? Where shouldn't you go? Where can you go for a good first date? Or what can you talk about? Not income. Right. Don't ask your date how much money they make. Did you have any nicknames growing up? It's kind of a playful one. What's the best meal you've ever had? Going to a yummy restaurant? A matjib? Very good. Menu. Anyone else? Yummy food is always good, right? Maybe park, museum, concert. Right now with the cherry blossoms, the bokgol, it's a really good idea to get outside. Coffee shop by the river, someplace romantic, very good. Anyone else? Topics you can talk about or somewhere you should go? I heard my Korean friends saying, don't talk about your military service on a first date. I think that's just a joke though, but I'm not really sure. But maybe just avoiding something that could be sad or controversial or related to politics or your past relationship, right? Don't talk about your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend on a first date. Okay, so we have some more answers coming in. Hobbies, current events. Thank you, DVD. Very good. Park or school. Okay, sure, school. Maybe like outside of the school. Excellent. Okay, very good. Yeah, restaurant, cafe. Tiramisu cafe. Very good. Okay, everyone. Sorry to cut our conversation short, but we should finish now with our quiz. So, my first question for you, if you've been listening along the whole time, is this. So please be the first student to type the answer correctly. It's quiz time, everyone. So, what do we call a temporary infatuation with another person? I'll put it here. What do you call a temporary infatuation with another person? We just talked about this word. Let's see. What do you call that? Give you a second. Crush, T-Jenny, well done. Good job. Yes, okay. And the next question is this. What do you call someone who is too good for you? What is an expression that means that someone is too good for you? We just talked about that as well. Okay, everyone. Yes, I see your answers coming in for the first question. Crush, crush. Well done. Excellent. Now the next one is someone who is too good for you. Emily says out of league. Very good. DVD diary, out of your league. Very good. Yes, correct. And this one, we've already done it before. Just. Let's use this word in a sentence. Who can use the expression break up perfectly in a sentence? So you can modify it. You could say, someone broke up with me, or like this, but I want to see break up used in a sentence. Let's go, everyone. Our final question. Remember at the beginning of our lesson, we talked about breaking up. Oh, A says, don't break up with me. Please, I beg you. Very good. That's natural. Thank you so much. Everyone, as always, time flies. I really enjoyed our discussion today. Thank you so much. I think this is a really awesome topic. There's so much to talk about, so I really wish we could keep going. But if you have anything else you'd like to say, please leave it in the comments. Also, for our prize today, I guess you'd win George, although I might eat him later. I think that, what else do I have? Okay, let's go with this. This is a little romantic. Some chocolate, everyone. So if you're one of the winners, I will try to get you some chocolate. I will give this chocolate to you when we can finally meet at a university event when the coronavirus ends. So good job, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. It was a lot of fun. And as I said before, your English is great. You're doing so well. And the sentences that you all provided were so natural and well done. So thank you so much. This was so much fun, everyone. It's time to go. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care. Bye.